Well, this video comes after I hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank you all for all your support. All this time you've been watching, commenting, liking the videos. I really appreciate you. I try to answer almost immediately to every comment that I see. I want you to know that some time ago there was an issue. Like right after I hit 1,000 subscribers, the app updated. So I don't know if it's because of the 1,000 subscribers or it just got a new version of it. And all of a sudden I start seeing comments that I had never seen before. I never got notifications. So I had to go back and answer everything. And on top of that, comments that I just left as is with just a like or a heart that before were disappearing, now they don't. And if I don't answer something, I had to I'm missing older messages that actually need to be replied. So I had to put at least a smiley face or something. So if you didn't get a smiley face and you got something else, like a laughing face, you probably said something that wasn't very intelligent, at least in my opinion. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for all your support. Today's video, I meant to do something else. Then I saw Breitling release, and so I said, oh, I need to change my today's video to talk about Breitling. But I don't think it's worthy of a whole video by itself. So we're going to talk about it for the first 2 minutes, and then we're going to go back to the original subject of the video. Now, Breitling, they released the new heritage models with the new B31 movement that is in-house. It's Sellita, the division of Sellita that works with companies to make them movements. And that would be okay for any other brand, like Tag Heuer. They did exactly that. Raymond Weil, they did exactly that. And now Breitling is doing that. I kept saying many times how Breitling used to compete with Rolex and Omega. And now Breitling is competing with Tag Heuer and Raymond Weil and who else? All these companies that uses that Sellita manufacturer. It just specify what they want, and then they get the movements and they call them their own. So that's what happened with Breitling. Now, design-wise, I think it's a step up, to be honest. The bracelet looks to have a nice fit on the case. At the same time, it's a Milanese bracelet, which I like. I always liked Milanese bracelets, but it's the safe choice for every watch. Every other watch that doesn't want to have a dedicated bracelet and has some aquatic theme, they use the Milanese bracelet. It was very nice when they first came up with it, the original, and now we see it over and over, and it became the standard for this model. And you cannot compete with Rolex or Omega by not having a proper diver dedicated bracelet. But what am I talking here? We just said that the movement is competing with Tag Heuer and Raymond Weil. So yeah, Breitling on paper and the YouTubers you pay, it tells me that you're trying to do this marketing, taking the marketing route instead of the substance route. So you took out the movement by Tudor and you downgraded to a Sellita. Because before you were at least doing some decoration. You were taking the Tudor movement, doing some decoration on top of whatever Tudor was doing, and you were throwing it on your watch. Now you're going to Sellita directly, and you call that in-house. It's as in-house as the Tudor before it. So, yeah, Breitling, you're not going anywhere like this. I'm sorry, and I think I'm a minority here. I saw a bunch of YouTubers today, all the same ones that you guys are watching and I'm watching, and all of them obviously promoted the new watch as something wow. It's a good thing that they did different sizes, 100%, but essentially it's a little tricked out watch with a different movement, and now it has a display case for a movement that is average. You can get the same kind of movement, like I said, from Tag Heuer. So if you want to compete with Tag Heuer, that's fine. but I'm not paying $6,000 for it. That's all I had to say about Breitling. Now, today's video, I did something similar at the very beginning. I think at that point we had like 200 subscribers. And most of you didn't understand what I was talking about, or the people back then. And I'm going to try to rephrase some of the things I said back then and give some advice. So instead of telling you where to buy, I'm going to tell you how I buy watches. And we're going to see if you guys like it. If you have something to say, you're going to let me know. And if you have any further questions, if I forgot something, let me know. So the one thing that I always say to people is never sell. If you have a watch already, don't trade it. If you trade it, you're going to get tricked. I did, for the purpose of this video, I asked a question on an eBay seller that has great prices, by the way. They had this Rolex Yachtmaster 1, and they had an offer on eBay for $7,245, if I remember correctly. Okay, $7,245, which in that price, they're gonna pay shipping. They're gonna pay the authenticity guarantee. They're gonna pay eBay fees. So I say, okay, let me do this. I'm gonna go to their website. I checked how many fees they should pay roughly based on how big they are and the price of the watch and all these things. So I did a calculation there. It came that they would pay about $500 to eBay. So I said, okay, I'm going to take this price and I'm going to reduce it to $600 and see if they come up with a counter offer so we can work our way there. And what did they do? They answered back saying, we know you offered $6,600. Thank you so much. We can only take $7,250 wire. That's our final offer. So I go directly to your website, my friend dealer, and you're telling me that I need to pay more, or you get to keep more. I pay the same, but you get to keep more. And that's your final offer. I came to your website. You can say, you know what? Let's split the difference. That was on eBay, but you don't know that I went on eBay. And I said, you probably assume that I went to your website and you tried to trick me this way. So in that case, if I was to buy that watch, I would directly go to eBay, pay the same money via credit card, get the points, get the authenticity guarantee, and call it a day. Why would I buy directly from you? What's good for me? And this is not my only experience like this. I talked about other videos. Some people thought that it was just bitterness. It's been a long time now, so there's nothing bitter about my thoughts now. So if you want to sell a watch, you sell it directly to an individual. Where are you going to find that person? Facebook. Facebook has a bunch of forums. I spoke about forums before. I'm a member to a couple, but the one that I always buy and trade watches, there's one that I always go, and that's the safest way because they send you the money first. So you get those in your bank account. It's not by credit card. So they pay you via Zelle or whatever, and you get the money and then you send the watch. So they can't scam you. Where you can get scammed is if you pay somebody and they don't send you a watch. Now that is a possibility. But if you do the time investment that it takes to stay on forums and see who sells all the time and get some reputation. I before bought immediately directly from a seller that I saw doing many deals through the past couple of years, 3 years now that I'm on that forum, and I went directly to them. I said I want this. I sent the money immediately. It's like, you don't want reference checks, whatever. I'm like, I don't need anything. I've seen you for years now. You're good. And I got my watch in a couple of days. So That's the only way I would trade or buy or sell a watch. Now, buying is a different story, because buying requires you to know that the person has an original watch and is trustworthy enough to send it. And that's where it gets tricky. If you want to buy from a forum, you need to be a member for some time and then ask for references and know that those references are good. So that takes time. If you don't have the time, or you don't have the appetite to go through that, you go through dealers. And in that case, you go through all the dealers that you know. You make your normal market research. You also cross-reference with eBay, because many times eBay, even with all their fees, they have better prices than most dealers. It depends on the watch. And then you have a peaceful mind knowing that it's going through the authenticity guarantee and all that, and the money guarantee. Everything is good. But you go to the dealers that you know and trust, and you buy the watch. Now, how do you buy the watch? The way I like to do it is either before that, get a credit card that it has a substantial sign-up bonus. Any sign-up bonus would do, but if it's a substantial, even better. There's credit cards out there that offer up to, right now, I think some of the biggest offers are equivalent in US dollars to $750. You're going to pay $95 out of that to the annual fee of that credit card, so call it $650. Well, $650 is 10% of a $6,500 watch. It could be 50% of a really nice, cheaper watch, a Tag Heuer. So why not take advantage of points? If you don't want to take advantage of points, you can get credit cards that have 0 APR for a few months. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that you should go and charge credit cards without having the money. I always... Not always. No, I'm not lying. At the beginning, I did the mistakes to buy watches on credit cards, thinking that with my future money, I'm going to cover this. And guess what happens? Life happens. Life happens, and you think I'm going to have the money to pay this in 3, 4, 5 months, and then something happens and you don't. So you have the money in the bank, or you have your money in investments. You don't want to move them. Stock market is going up. So why take out money to pay for that watch? If you get a nice credit card that has 12, 15, up to 21 months, 0 APR, you can use that, buy the watch, and have 0 APR payments for X amount of months. Now, why is that better than the stupid programs that many watch companies, including Breitling, offer? It's because at Breitling website, you're going to pay retail. The way I'm saying, you can go to Joma Shop or wherever you find that watch, eBay even, put the information of your credit card into that, so you get immediately the discount because it's a gray market watch or a used watch, and you get the better price, you get 0 APR, and for many, many months, you can go up to 21 months. I can stretch this enough. And you keep your money invested, you keep your money in the bank, and you don't have to remove and move money for no reason. And that way you pay slowly, and if you feel like paying it off in 3 months, in 5 months, you do that. But that's how I'm buying watches. I always try to save. Right now, the stock market is going crazy. I was lucky enough. I entered some decent amount of money 3 months ago. I don't want to take them out. They're going up. They're going up. I'm like 72% on Palantir. Do I want to remove that money? No. They're going to stay there because it's going up. So what am I going to do? Get that credit card. Pay for the watch. Pay a little money every month. If I ever feel like paying off, then I sell some stock and I pay. But that's how I do it, because I want my money working for me, but I also like my toys. Let me know what you guys think about Breitling. What do you guys think about tactics like this, or you're the kind of person that likes to just take hard cash out and give it and get done with it, let me know. I know there's people in this channel that have some substantial collections, some really expensive pieces. So maybe for you, it doesn't even make any sense, because who cares, right? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. I really appreciate 1,000 subscribers. Until the next one. Ciao.